to ESPN College Football presented by McDonald's. The road to Atlanta runs through Baltimore. The MEAC title and a spot in the Celebration Bowl belongs to South Carolina State if they can beat Morgan State inside Hughes Stadium, a.k.a. the Den. Second to last week of the MEAC season, Morgan State enters at 2-1. They are alive, but they need a win today. Bulldogs can claim the title with a win. With that, it's time to give the people what they want right here in Baltimore. Not me, Loa Galindo. This guy in all his majesty, Fozzie Whitaker, bringing it for you for this special MEAC contest. Hey, Fozzie, let's start with focusing on South Carolina State. Chennis Berry, head coach, has done an unbelievable job taking a team that struggled to throw the ball last season, turning them into one of the best aerial assaults in the FCS, doing it with guys that did it for him at D2 Benedict College, his quarterback, Eric Phoenix.
Yeah, we are in marching band country, and you got to have somebody that's a drum major to orchestrate this offense. That's where Eric Phoenix comes in and does an immaculate job. He is one of the special talents at the FCS level, and I think what makes him so special is his ability to be a dual threat guy. My lapel pin, I have Darth Vader on there, Star Wars reference, because any good Jedi or Sith Lord must have their lightsaber, and that's what Eric Phoenix brings to the table. He slices and dices up a defense in the pass game, and if you forget about him on the ground, he will absolutely tear you up with 215 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground. But he is an absolute difference maker.
He has to go up against the best defense, though, in the MEAC. They've got Elijah Williams, 30 career sacks, the most in Bears program history.
Well, absolutely. Whenever you're talking about Darth Vader, well, the Rebel Alliance, they got to come together, and led by this guy right here, Elijah Williams, 10 sacks, 11.5 TFLs on the season. He is an absolute difference maker. He uses his lightsaber to help ignite that defense to get them off the field and force turnovers and be one of the top in the MEAC.
Little chilly today. We got a breeze, which will affect the passing game, especially for the Bulldogs, and certainly special teams as well. There is the big fella, Agent Zero, Elijah Williams, waiting for his turn. Now, South Carolina State won the toss. They elected to defer, so it will be the Bulldogs kick it off and the Bears to receive. MEAC football from Northeast Baltimore. Let's get it. MEAC title on the line. Low kick. And it's going to be Jason Collins, the running back with the return. Has a chance on the far side into the 40-yard line. And he's going to be brought down by the Bulldogs at the 42. That sets up this Morgan State offense with excellent field position. Going to roll out Deuce Taylor. He's starting his second straight game at quarterback. It's really been a revolving door with Deuce Taylor and Tyler Smith because of injuries. Smith out with an injury. What's on the shoulders of Deuce Taylor in this game?
Well, ultimately, they're going up against one of the best duos on the defensive side of the ball in Ashad Hall, Jaden Broughton. He's going to have to get the ball out quickly. There's also going to need to be chip help and know exactly where 19 and number 1 is on defense in order to have success offensively.
It is one of the best, most feared pass rushes in all of FCS football. And we got a flag, and it's going to be movement on Morgan State. So move it back 5 yards, start it all over again. For an offense that's been a little bit up and down, really comes down to this. They win when they score. When they struggle to score, they don't win. And it's been a couple of back-to-back challenges in the fourth quarter against Norfolk State and Delaware State. But the Bears certainly alive with a chance in the MEAC. Jason Collins is going to pick up about 4 yards here on first down to set up a 2nd and 11. They will rely heavily on this ground game.
Yeah, Jason Collins, the freshman, done an unbelievable job since he stepped in. 152 yards last game, a long of 75 yards as well. He's going to be a focal point in helping neutralize this rushing attack on the defensive side of the ball, getting after the quarterback.
Marquez Phillips, number 4, one of their go-to receivers, the top of the formation, best size of the regulars. It's going to be back to the ground. You ain't got nowhere to go. because John Hannibal is there. And for all the love that Jaden Broughton and Ashad Hall get, Hannibal is the big fella that sets it all up.
Absolutely. He takes up and forces all of the space to be eaten. As you see Morgan State try to go with a single back power. It's blown up by Hannibal in the backfield. He does a great job of penetrating. Danger zone right now for Morgan State. Watch 1 and 19 for South Carolina State with a pass rush. 4-man rush. The bullet over the middle, and it's broken up by Aaron Smith. Boog is there. He's one of the top NFL prospects playing HBCU football. Yeah, whenever I saw him on the field, he looked absolutely amazing. A specimen, I might say, a guy that looks like a creative player. And then you throw him out there on the football field, and he just produces. He is the unsung leader of this defense and leaves his presence felt every single time he's out there. And you think he's got a real chance, huh? Absolutely. He looks really good. Bears love their punter, Shane Messenger. And he's punted this one end over end to KZ Adams from the 15, muffs it, but recovers at the 20-yard line. So South Carolina State known for slinging the football all across the field. Eric Phoenix has been the most difficult quarterback to slow down in MEAC play. Last 3 games, just under 310 passing yards per game, 9 touchdowns, and Fozzie 1 pick. Yeah, he's been able to take care of the football, extremely dynamic and explosive. He is the reason why the offense will get started, and he typically does it early in games. KZ Adams, the starting tailback. And Adams with the carry, right side, and there is a TFL produced by Xavier Shell. Now has 2.5 of those on the season. Can't overlook this Morgan State defense. Absolutely. This Morgan State defense, they have stripes to show on their own. And these linebackers are extremely aggressive. Whenever they see ball, they get ball. And you saw it right there on that first down play, TFL. Phoenix will throw, looks left and coming back right. And once again, in the backfield, making the play is Xavier Shell. That's how you start off with a statement, Fozzie. Absolutely. In the same way that Morgan State has to neutralize the rush of the opposing defense, so too does South Carolina State with Elijah Williams having the sack numbers that he has. They got to get the ball out quickly. Xavier Shell is ready for the screen game. Forces another TFL on back-to-back plays. Elijah Williams now flips inside. Big fella wearing number 0. 30 career sacks, hit that milestone last week. The most in program history. 3rd and long for Eric Phoenix. And Phoenix will play it safe. Check down to Adams. And Adams will weave his way through to the 25-yard line. So a couple of 3-and-outs to start this game. Kind of what we expected between the number 1 and the number 2 defense in the conference. They're already showcasing their prowess and how they plan to set the tone for the rest of this game to unfold. And we talk about what's on the line for South Carolina State. It's cut and dry for them. They win this game. They go to the Celebration Bowl. Morgan State playing for a lot for a program that has not had a lot of success getting to a place like the Celebration Bowl. If they win here, they are still alive to win the MEAC. The punt is away. Malik Leatherberry will backstep, then cut it off to the 45, shakes a tackle to the 50, and Leatherberry with the electric punt return. And this will set up South Carolina State to go to work in Bears territory. HBCU football, special always. And the flyby, youth football team on hand, and of course the big dogs and the bands showing up and ready to play. The D2 level, Mike Chenisberry at Bowie State here in the state of Maryland, comes over season number 3. He has now guided the Bears to 5 wins. May not seem like a huge number, but it's significant. The most in a season for this program since 2014. And now his guys are set up to do some damage now, starting this drive at the 40-yard line. So Malik Leatherberry got him going with special teams. And Deuce Taylor with his second shot at it. Early false start on the opening drive set him back 5 yards. And tough to be against this Bulldogs defense.
That is Jason Collins. That's a pickup that you need on first down against this South Carolina State D.
Yeah, you have to stay ahead of the chains, and by being able to run the ball effectively in the same way that they just did on that single back power play, that allows the quarterback and the offense to feel a little bit more comfortable with the playbook open at their disposal.
They do a lot with their receiver number 10, Andre Crawley. You see him left side of the formation in the slot. He's also thrown for a couple of touchdown passes. You'll see this a ton tonight in motion. But to Collins, and Collins thumped right at the line of scrimmage. And it's Jaden Jones, linebacker, coming up to make the stop. Setting up a crucial third down.
This is where you have to be really good. Morgan State has done a great job of being very efficient on third down offensively, and vice versa for the South Carolina State defense.
Third and 3 for Taylor. Backside pressure. He felt it. And it looks like Marquez Phillips is going to draw the penalty for a little PI action around the 30.
Yeah, it appears as though Washington had his hands on the receivers right before the ball got there. Caused a little contact.
For defensive penalty, it will be 4th down.
So having some issues with the officiating crew on the microphones, but no call for defensive holding there, so it will be 4th down. So the Bulldogs were able to dodge a bullet there. I would have moved the sticks for Morgan State, and here the Bears will send out Messenger for his second punt of the day. And KZ Adams late to get on the field and count the numbers, making sure the Bulldogs have enough and not too many for this return opportunity. Bulldogs will not bring pressure, and this one will go straight into the end zone for the touchback. So the Bears offense coming out, back-to-back 3-and-outs for South Carolina State, a team that's built around the pass game. With these type of elements for the higher wins, how does it affect a guy like Eric Phoenix?
Well, ultimately, you got to stay composed, which is why we saw some of the shorter passes happening on this play. On the season, though, whenever the conditions are beautiful, you see the yards per completion, yards per game, the touchdowns, what this offense can do. And whenever he's on, Eric Phoenix I'm talking about, then this offense is absolutely explosive and dynamic, along with the presence of Caden High at the receiver position.
Former Grambling offensive star, Jonathan Williams, first year for the Bulldogs as a play caller. The lefty Phoenix throwing high out of the backfield and connecting to Keyshawn Toney. Toney started his career as a tight end at South Carolina. He was with the Gamecocks, so shows you there's some big-time talent on both sides of the ball for this Bulldogs team. Going quick, Phoenix throwing in motion, and that is Caden High. It was a little throw, a little low, but caught, set up a 3rd and short here. South Carolina State actually has the 3 leading receivers in the MEAC, Caden High, Anaj Carter, and Justin Smith-Brown. Loaded there.
I think that's a good problem to have whenever you got guys that can go, and all 3 of them lead the conference in receiving yardage.
Now, this is where they really have struggled, especially the past couple of weeks. Short yardage situations. Shaw is the running back. He'll be the lead blocker for Eric Phoenix. They can do enough of that on the ground. He picks up the first down yardage.
Yeah, and ultimately, that's the different factor that Eric Phoenix brings to the table, is being able to have +1 in the run game. As they do a pin-pull technique, that allows you to get 1 extra blocker to be able to get that additional yardage that you're looking for. And Eric Phoenix, as a dual-threat guy, able to pick up the first down for the Bulldogs.
Phoenix throwing to Caden High. Trying to turn the corner, and he is going to be forced out by Josh Graham. Graham, a.k.a. Ram, as he's known by his teammates. This is going to be a tough assignment for the secondary for the Bears, because these receivers can move. Phoenix getting out quick. Little guy up high, palm of the football, spinning off off 2 tackles and taking it down to the 43-yard line. Caden High is that guy, Fozzie.
Absolutely. Coming into this game, 784 yards, 6 touchdowns, shows you why he is the top receiver in the MEAC and why he's a guy that needs to get going.
22-yard pickup. Go back to the hot hand. Picks up a block from Anaj Carter, but the Bears are able to rally to the football. Minimal gain.
What you're noticing is this offense isn't necessarily pushing the ball downfield. The wind is a major factor. It's a crosswind currently, but the Bulldogs are kind of headed into that crosswind. You throw up a deep ball, the ball hangs in the air, gives the defense an opportunity to make a play on it. We're seeing some of these shorter passes to negate the impact that the wind has on this offense right now.
Also seeing the power of that initial first down. It seems like now Eric Phoenix and this offense can relax just a little bit. Here's Tony in motion, going in that direction. But complete to Anaj Carter. Tackle made by Brian Stukes. His coaches told us that Stukes is the guy that will hit anybody, anywhere, plays with a reckless abandon.
And I think if you're a team that leads the MEAC on the defensive side of the ball, you got to have a couple of those guys where, hey, don't care, elevator, it doesn't matter. I will hit you and make sure that my team benefits from it.
Third and 3. Phoenix just getting out quick. That's Justin Smith-Brown with his first catch of the afternoon. Smith-Brown, second on the team in catches and yards. Preseason first team All-MEAC selection. Pick your poison here for the Bulldogs.
There's multiple first downs on this drive, chewing up time of possession as well. Flipping the field position, critical in a game with such good defenses.
4-man rush for Morgan State. Phoenix with time, stretching downfield. And Keithan Gooden broke on it and was able to break it up before it got to Anaj Carter, the intended target.
There you see the Bulldogs try to take their shot with their guy, Anaj Carter, and the defense does a great job. Gooden in prime position. That ball's a little bit lower. It might be going the other way.
Keithan Gooden at 5'10", out of L.A., got up on that play. Phoenix again, back over the middle, caught and in. Justin Smith-Brown puts the Bulldogs up first. They've come here to Baltimore to claim the MEAC title. That will go a long ways to doing so. 31 yards.
It's a great job by Eric Phoenix. Had the near interception the previous play. That doesn't deter him. He sees the defense in quarters where too high safety, finds the post route by Smith-Brown, puts it right on the money, finds a way to split that defense, put up first touchdown in this game. 6 points for the Bulldogs.
Extra point up and is good as South Carolina State. And they needed that initial third down conversion. They got it, and we saw Eric Phoenix just start to relax and take control.
Yeah, all it takes is one first down, and then you get the offense rolling. Justin Smith-Brown splits the defense just like a lightsaber. 7 points for the Bulldogs.
MEAC race is so entertaining. A lot of people thought it would be North Carolina Central that would be the team to beat, and they've looked that way for a long time. But it was his South Carolina State team that really put their mark on this new era under Chinnisberry when they took down North Carolina Central. And now they are on the team, on the cusp of winning the MEAC if they can take down Morgan State here today. The Bears still alive, however. Logan Lindo here with Fozzie Whitaker. We saw Central last night. It took them a little while to get going before they finally woke up and got that win to keep them in this race. Morgan State, however, needs something to get clicking offensively and in a hurry. opening up the game with 2 straight 3-and-outs, and the wind continues to be a factor here. Blowing it off the tee is Kyle Gallegos. Eager to tee this one and let it rip. Playing from behind, though, it's nothing new from Morgan State. Last 2 absolute battles against Norfolk and Delaware State. And this one is going to go straight out of bounds, so it will be spotted at the 35-yard line. And this is how you help an offense that has struggled find its footing. And that's what we're talking about, the elements today here in Baltimore. It is breezy, my man.
Yes, this gust of 15 is what we are expecting. It might be a little bit higher than that with the way that it's playing a factor on this game. But ultimately, be alert for kicks, especially in the punting game, for that to be an effect on how this game plays out. We just saw the kick out of bounds. Good field position starting off for this Morgan State offense.
Deuce Taylor coming off a 218-yard performance against Delaware State. Most by a Bears player since 2019. Miles Myrie is running back, and Andre Crowley is hit, lost the football. Was it a fumble? Was it broken up? And they're saying incomplete pass. Diego Addison, the brains of the secondary, also showing he's the muscle as well.
Yeah, and this match-type defense, you got to know exactly what you're doing and how to do it. Diego Addison, a guy that's been doing it at a high level for quite some time, puts hat right on the ball. Ball comes out, incomplete pass, 2nd and 10 for the Bears.
Crawley may have held on to that, but Aaron Smith also came in late to draw it loose. There's Miles Myrie, 1-yard pickup here on 2nd down. So we saw there that there's confidence in Deuce Taylor to let it rip. He's got some arm talent. Tosh Smith, quarterback that's not available, more of the runner. Deuce Taylor, more of the thrower with this quarterback duo.
Yeah, you're going to see more RPO in that quick game, the 3-step drop, trying to get the ball out of his hands quickly. On 3rd and long situations, this is where the Bears do not want to be, with the number 1 sack getter and the number 3 sack getter in the conference on the opposite side of the ball.
It's Broughton and Hall, 1 and 19. Here comes Broughton, missed him. And in space and complete to Leatherberry. Well, that is well short, just to the 40-yard line, and that will be 3 consecutive 3-and-outs forced by this nasty Bulldogs defense to start off this game.
Yeah, and for Morgan State, these are opportunities that they have to take advantage of. You get a big return on your first opening kickoff, 40-yard line. You get the ball on the other 40-yard line after a big punt return, and then you get good field position after a kick out of bounds. They got to capitalize.
Messenger felt the pressure, gets it off. KZ Adams, who muffed and recovered the last punt for the Bulldogs, will let this one roll. There is a flag down at the near 30-yard line. And it's going to go against South Carolina State.
During the kick, 30, receiving team number 16. After this is going to be at the end of the kick, first down.
So that is a hold. I guess South Carolina State will back them up a little bit, but it's time to go back to work for Eric Phoenix, looking for a school record coming up. The juiced up and turned up head coach of South Carolina State, Chinnis Berry. Not my words, his words. Man has worked hard to get this opportunity. Really all started here in Baltimore. His first shot to be a play caller was at Morgan State. He's worked his way up, did a fantastic job, 27-7 in 3 years at D2 Benedict, and took a lot of his guys from that D2 program that some doubted. Hey, coach, you're taking over a powerhouse program. Why are you bringing your guys from D2? And he said, because I believe in them. And the guy he believes in him, probably the most out of all of them, Eric Phoenix, who on his last drive threw his 20th touchdown pass of the season to tie the program record for most in one campaign. Backed up, open field, Tyler Tyler Smith wants to roll. Flipped, but it don't matter because he's going to celebrate after that one down to the 30-yard line.
And if you backed up, you got to find some space for your offense. Tyler Smith does a great job reading the blocks, finds the open space, gets open field, and then, now you got to make somebody miss at the end of that play. Whenever you got all that open green grass, you got to utilize it to your advantage, but that's how, textbook way, you're able to create some space for your offense backed up against your own goal line.
27-yard pickup. Tyler Smith's previous long this year, 15. So go back to him. And another good opening. There is a flag down, however. Maybe that's why the opening was too good to be true.
Yeah, penalties after a big run can be a big momentum killer.
Personal foul, face mask, offense, number 0. 15-yard penalty for foul, first down.
Going to get the receiver, Caden High, with a face mask. And that will back it up 15.
Yeah, you typically don't see a receiver with a person being called for face mask there. That's just a big no-no. Accident that happened, but ultimately it cost the team some quality field position and yardage.
Now you're way backed up to the 20-yard line. Will they chip away or go for a chunk here? Phoenix throwing on the run, sideline complete to Anaj Carter, third leading receiver on this Bulldogs team. There's a flag down.
It's going to be offensive PI again on Caden. So it appears as though he was blocking downfield. Maybe some miscommunication on getting into his route.
Sherman Chinnisberry here, please center the ball. And we carry the goal line because I don't care about those
Replay first down.
And again, our apologies for the mic situation on the field with the officiating crew, but that is an offensive pass interference call. So now you back it up even more to the 10-yard line. I'm curious, though. Chinnisberry said he's juiced up, turned up. He's on his guys during the week, but he's chill during the game. How chill are you after two huge penalties on one drive?
Yeah, 1st and 31 is not what he had on his bingo card this morning whenever he woke up.
Hey, but this is where Tyler Smith was able to bust the big one. Can he do it again? Slow developing run. There was a sidestep there, and able to take it down to the 15-yard line where Joseph Murray is able to make the stop. Get to see a lot of players you haven't seen before. Joseph Murray is not a guy that has great stats. You saw him on the field. You liked what you saw out of Joseph Murray.
Yeah, he has great size, great range. Whenever you see a guy like that, he just pops out. As a guy that's extremely athletic, moves well. See him make a play there is also leaving his presence felt on the field already.
Usually a special team standout for the Bears. Here we go on the 2nd and 26. Phoenix flushed. Eyes downfield. Another flag is down. It's going to be a hold most likely on South Carolina State, and they are melting down after taking a 7-0 lead. So back it up even more, running out of room to operate as Cannon Liggins was called for the hold. And Jonathan Williams is probably scratching his head saying, Coach, I don't got a lot for 2nd and this long. But after that initial flurry from Smith, it's been all backwards.
You got to be smart in trying to take care of the football here. You probably see a run play or a screen play to try to just get some yardage and some space away from their field.
It is disheartening from this angle to see the line of scrimmage, the 2nd down marker, and then follow it all the way to the 1st down. Oh, little fake on the speed option, and that should be 15 more. But no flag is called here as Eric Phoenix was clearly on the ground when that contact was made.
I think he's feeling the brunt of that, but What a great job setting that play up, and the hit right on the back of the head. It's such a bang-bang play.
But still gave himself up. He's a defenseless player. He's hit. And the shoulder, above the shoulder, the head neck area. And this is a very concerning sign to see the team leader limp off the field.
Yeah, the great fake out there on the pitch. He starts giving himself up, and you see the leading of the head with McCullough.
That has to be a targeting call.
That should be called, and should have been a first down. And ultimately, you're worried about the health of Eric Phoenix, the guy that has been the focal point for this offense.
Brian Stubblefield checks in. They'll let him throw. Stubblefield, Elijah Williams nearly had him. Throws it away. Will this be grounding?
Absolutely. In the pocket, nobody in the area. They're going to throw that flag. And there it is.
Here is that flag. Tough spot to be in for Ryan Stubblefield. Lance Binden had the pressure there with Elijah Williams.
Attention, number 2. Education is calling the foul. So that's a down. Fourth down.
So we had holding call. We had
face
mask. We had offensive pass interference. And now we have the intentional grounding. Fortunately, was not in the end zone because that would have been a safety.
Yep.
But still a 4th and 37. And it all started so well with that run from Tyler Smith.
The game changes very quickly. Now you got to protect. Backed up in your own end zone. It's a shorter launching point. Expect Morgan State to try to get after the punter here.
Dyson Roberts to kick it away. Oh, he goes down. There is a flag, and this now could change everything. As the ball winds up at the 20-yard line, what in the world is going on? Will this now give South Carolina State a first down? They got the offense moving that way.
That'll be a major mistake. I think it's going to be running into the kicker. They'll have an opportunity to re-punt or tack on yardage at the end of this kick. I don't think it'll be roughing. But ultimately, the number of penalties that we've seen on the past 6 plays, it's a little too much for each coach's liking.
Running in by the kicker. Defense. 5-yard penalty. Will replay fourth down.
So they need that re-kick because it was going to be Morgan State football at the 20-yard line.
See, as he kicks away right there, he runs right into the punting leg of Roberts, and ultimately that's typically the definition of running into the kicker. If he'd hit the plant leg, you would have got roughing or ran directly into him. So that's the difference. 5-yard penalty, repunt.
Roughing would have been the automatic first down. No pressure here. Leatherberry is calling for that fair catch at the 40-yard line. That was as wild in a bad way of a sequence that you will see for an offense, and uncharacteristic for the South Carolina State team because they are typically so dialed in offensively. But after 3 straight 3-and-outs, that's the break that Morgan State desperately needs.
Absolutely. They had this field position the last time that they received the ball. The key for them is to be able to get the ground game going, again, to help neutralize that attack. And then ultimately, you got to pick up that first down and let everything flow from there.
Crawley in motion. Miles Myrie with the carry. Sifting through traffic, and he gets 1 yard. It is a stout defensive front. You've mentioned the guys on the outside, Jaden Broughton and Ashad Hall, but they have players inside as well. Josh Barker, John Hannibal, they make a lot of the plays possible for the outside rushers.
Absolutely. As much as they like getting after the passer, and those 2 premier pass rushers are able to speak with the numbers for that, they are also the #1 run-stopping defense in this conference as well to those interior guys.
Only allowing 3.4 yards per carry this season. Tough to run on the Bulldogs, and why not? Let's get another flag going. Let's set some records at this point.
Offense, number 58, 5-yard penalty.
And that's going to go against the center, Shane Morrix. Was there a double pump here? What do we got?
Yeah, it appears as though he kind of just flinched before it happened, and it's what you don't want to have happen as the end of the quarter unfolds. You probably could have just waited until the time expired, not even get assessed the penalty.
Well, the MEAC title is on the line, and for the second drive of the Bulldogs, they look like the team that was locked in, ready to stake their claim and book the tickets to Atlanta. The drive after that, not so much. And Morgan State is still in this thing at the end of one. Welcome back to Baltimore. Loa Galindo here with Fozzie Whitaker. South Carolina State is up on Morgan State 7-0, but the biggest area of concern, the best quarterback in the MEAC right now, that man, Eric Phoenix, he was hurt when he slid on an option play, was hit up top in the head neck area, was not called, but he is favoring his lower body, tried to get up and run, then had to go sit back down. So still waiting to see if we see him come back out for the Bulldogs. Meanwhile, here's Deuce to Myrie. And it's chased down by Aaron Smith. Boog, the leading tackler for this Bulldogs defense. Preseason ranked as the #2 HBC NFL prospect, according to Jordan Reed.
And you can tell why he's one of the top-ranked players in HBCU and FCS altogether is by the way he plays the game, how physical he is, running sideline to sideline, play recognition. He does it all in what you want to see in a linebacker, and he plays it at an extremely high level. 3rd and long. Time to unleash those hounds. We have not seen the top pass rushers, Broughton and Hall, hit home yet. Do they do it here? Deuce dumps it. And it's a one-on-one tackle made by Boog. Smith, pick it up. Throw him down, young man. Again, it shows you his versatility. It doesn't matter if it's a running back that goes out into the backfield or if you got your slot wide receiver in Crawley coming across on a drag route. He finds a way to get his hands on you. Once he gets his hands on you, there is no getting away.
That's get back here. You got something that belongs to me.
Again, another field position opportunity lost by the Morgan State Bears.
His punt hangs up, and the fair catch called for inside the 15-yard line. Who's coming out at quarterback? That's a big question for the South Carolina State faithful, and it looks like it is going to be the backup, Ryan Stubblefield, senior transfer from Incarnate Word. You know about those Incarnate Word transfers at quarterback. One of them is arguably the best in America right now in Cam Ward. Had to stop at Washington State before he ended up at the U. Does the offense change now with Stubblefield in at quarterback? No. They're letting him sling it, but pressure in the face applied by Josh Graham, incomplete. Are you surprised that with the quarterback coming in fresh off the bench has not been a little more run heavy?
I am, and considering the first 3rd down, it's 3rd and 36. Calling a pass play in that situation, I don't think helped young Stubblefield that didn't have a flow into the game get going. And then you come out first play, RPO, tries to throw it out, incomplete pass.
Smith will get the carry, following his lead blocker. He's bouncing it to the outside. Will he take it the distance? Gets a block, a huge one downfield, and Nash Carter sets it up, and Tyler Smith does the rest. 86 yards. He's had his 2 longest runs of the year right here in Baltimore with the MEAC title on the line.
Well, you talked about me being surprised they are not toting the rock. I think Coach heard you and said, hey, let me feed my young back who just had a big play. Let me go right back to him. Let's calm our offense down. And Smith does a great job of getting free, forcing defenders to miss, and then great downfield blocking by Naj Carter and Justin Smith-Brown, both of those guys springing Tyler Smith free for the touchdown.
Gallegos for the extra point. And he shanked it, so it'll stay at 13-0. But this reminds me of you and me, just being there to pick each other up. How about Najee Carter? I know you do the same thing for me, Fozzie. Get off me.
And then you see Smith Brown. Hey, say, hey, let me just get in front of you. Let my guy run. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
I have some.
Entered with 60 rushing yards. Fozzie, this guy's got 3 for 118 so far today.
And a tutty to go along with it. I think this offense is still in good and capable hands. As you see Coach Berry there speaking with Eric Phoenix about a possible return into this game. But if Tyler Smith is producing numbers like this, then it doesn't matter what quarterback is handing the ball off to him as he continues to break off big runs. That's going to be key to their success.
But really missed opportunity for Morgan State. They had the defensive stand with all the penalties that aided it. Yeah, they've not been able to move the football. Still no first downs through at least 3 drives now for Morgan State. They are desperate to find answers before this gets out of hand. Because that's one thing about the Bulldogs. They have the personnel to make this ugly quick.
Yeah, in the type of aggressive nature that the Bulldogs play with offensively, keeping their foot on the gas, it can become a source of issue for Morgan State if they don't find a response offensively, and they have to respond now, because ultimately if the game gets away from you, it plays into the hand of what South Carolina State does well, and that's get after the passer, and you don't want to make it into a track meet.
So 4 drives, 0 first downs to the ground here for the Bears, and just trying to find some positive yardage to set them up for success. That's going to be a 4-yard carry by Jason Collins. Collins had that breakout 75-yard touchdown last week in the win at Delaware State. We're talking about one of the bottom teams in the MEAC, one of the top. Timing was off there, and it's picked, ripped out of the air, and it's going to go all the way. Gerard Washington. Back-to-back games with pick sixes for Gerard Washington.
They do a great job. We talked about the aggressive nature on the offense. Deuce Taylor thought he had a free play because he thought the defense jumped into the neutral zone, so he fires it out to his receiver, but receiver was not on the same page. Gerard Washington, recipient of back-to-back pick sixes in consecutive games. And whenever you're playing the match defense in the style that South Carolina State does, they are sitting on everything, and they are aggressive when the ball is in the air, and Gerard Washington showcases why that is such a successful defense.
So Deuce Taylor entered this game with 106 straight attempts without an interception. One of 6 FCS quarterbacks with at least 100 attempts and no picks this year. Pass number 112 goes all the way, the other way.
Yeah, and again, thought he had a free play, rolls out to that side. See the receiver running a little 5-yard hitch. Gerard Washington says, hey, I'm going to be the recipient of that pass, and I'm going to cash in whenever I get to the end zone as well. Turn into a track meet is what the Bulldogs want to do in this game.
It is a nasty South Carolina State defense. Give them that turnover chain. Now looking for 2. Stubblefield. And he's going to be brought down by KJ Scott. And so that will make it a 19-0 lead for South Carolina State. They got ball hawks on this defense for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Washington goes to show you why he is one of the best ones to do it in the FCS level. Get pressure, find the ball, see ball, get ball. Gerard Washington catches it, takes it to the distance, put the Bulldogs up 3 scores.
Build the bull yourself.
Chinnisberry. And these are relationships that go back a long, long ways. Gerard Washington was one of the gentlemen that he coached at D2, Benedict College. There's some question, why would you bring a player like that to the D1 level? Because of trust. Berry is all about trust, and that's what happens when it pays off.
Yeah, it seems like everybody that came over with Coach Berry from Benedict has provided a key aspect to success, whether it's on the offensive or the defensive side of the ball for the Bulldogs this season.
14 players came over from Benedict. 7 are regular starters. This sells out of the end zone to set up the Bears at the 25-yard line. And it needs some magic to happen right now. Offensive coordinator Apollo Wright, first season with this program. She's got a long history at Florida International, New Mexico, at the FBS level. This has not been the start that he wanted to see drawn up and executed. 5 drives, have not moved the chains once. And the last throw, the first interception of the season by Deuce Taylor. Time to bounce back now. Crawley in motion. It's going to be a carry to Collins. And Collins, no gain on first down. What do you do? What's the answer here?
I was going to say, this is the difficult part of going up against a defense like this that has such beef on the interior, but then also the athleticism on the edge to be able to rush the passer, and then aggressive corners that know my guys are going to win up front. I can sit on everything. You got to establish the line of scrimmage and be able to protect your quarterback and your running backs at the point of attack.
And then be careful if you let it fly, as Deuce found out the hard way last time. Here's a quick pitch, and it's Leatherberry, and it's strung out and wrapped up by Aaron Smith, who continues to hound the Bears offense.
Yeah, again, mama, there goes that man.
Ooh, it's a bad
Aaron
dude.
Smith. Boog is an absolute playmaker. It doesn't matter if you have a lineman on him. It doesn't matter if it's a receiver getting a toss out of the backfield. He has a knack to be able to find the ball, and he does it at an extremely high level.
And Broughton played that well the whole way.
Yes.
Disciplined defense here, coordinated by Jordan O'Daffer, who also followed from Benedict College.
For me, what I look for on 3rd and long is an opportunity to use their aggressiveness against them. You got to find some sort of short, quick game in the screen. Maybe it's a tight end screen, maybe it's a running back screen, but try to get the defense to suck up and then be able to sneak right behind them.
Taylor flush from the pocket, will throw, and no one even close to this one. Malik Leatherberry was the intended target, but he broke off the route. 6 drives, no first downs.
Yeah, and they actually went negative on this drive, losing 2 yards on the TFL tackle. This is a concerning sign for the Bears offense going up against this stout Bulldogs defense. Ultimately, they got to go to the sideline, regroup, and try to find ways to attack to be able to be competitive in this game moving forward.
KZ Adams will have a shot. And we'll call for the fair catch instead, right at the 41-yard line. Well, there is some magic here with Kenneth Berry and the South Carolina State program. You know, it's historic, it's lauded, it's legendary. Talked about the coaches that had preceded him. Willie Jeffries, 13 years. Buddy Pugh, the winningest coach, 22 years. So when he took the job, his priority was to move the legacy forward. And I think it's clear as day that Kenneth Berry is doing that in year number 1.
Doing a spectacular job.
Play fake, Stubblefield, thrown to the tight end. Keyshawn Toney gets some. How about double contact there on Josh Graham? Big guy, little guy, big guy won.
And some of the misdirection that we're seeing the Bulldogs do, I think that's what Morgan State needs to do on the offensive side of the ball, but ultimately they haven't done that, and the Bulldogs, whatever they call, seems to be working right now in this game.
Keyshawn Toney is a problem. Adams shuffling through. 4-yard pickup on first down, close to 5. South Carolina State took them a little while to get going, but busted out in a big way. Justin Smith-Brown, 31-yard touchdown catch. Gerard Washington had that pick 6, and Tyler Smith, the long 86-yard touchdown scamper. Of course, with the block from Minaj Carter. Second down. Stubblefield to throw. On the run. The fake, and it works. He's able to get the edge and extend this drive down to the 30-yard line. Ryan Stubblefield subbing in with the injured Eric Phoenix making a mark.
Yeah, what you worry about whenever you get a backup in is trying to do too much in certain times and opportunities. Ryan Stubblefield does a great job escaping the pocket, not taking a sack, but then also extending the play, picking up a first down, utilizing his legs to keep the drive alive for the Bulldogs.
He looks just as comfortable as Eric Phoenix. Adams the carry. Wide open hole up the middle. Big fella downfield with the block. As Eric Brown was trying to help his cause, but KZ Adams out of Columbia, South Carolina with the burst.
Yes, you see a little trap play there. KZ Adams, thankful for having those guys open up the hole in the way that they did. Eric Brown Jr. leading number 76, making it where a Mack truck could have drove through that.
Well, Adams has done it for a long time. Second leading rusher in high school history in the state of South Carolina. Outside the red zone. Stubblefield rocked as he throws. Incomplete. And boy, lands behind him. Sophomore out of Cincinnati got him good. Nearly came up with his 7th sack of the year.
Yeah, pressuring the backup that hasn't played as much. That's going to be key for the success for the Bears defense. And you see there, it throws the errant pass and forces the ball to be thrown up high. They're going to have to rely on some more of that by Bindon, who's already had his presence felt on the defensive side of the ball to get some wins for the Bears.
Yeah, Bears need havoc plays. And there is high on the sweep. I mean, you got some juice, you got some flow. When you do the Dion and you just palm the football like that, I know some coaches probably go crazy watching that, but that's swag. That's style, Fosse.
Yeah, about as stylish as the mouthpiece in his helmet. And I know how you feel about mouthpieces in the helmet, but if you give me 6 touchdowns, over 700 yards receiving, and then you can just do plays in the way that he just did there, make it look so smooth, then hey, you got something about yourself, young man.
I'm confused now about the mouthpiece of the helmet. Stubblefield feeling pressure, scampering free, and Stubblefield has 6 for the Bulldogs. They got some bite out of South Carolina.
Where you talk about these quarterbacks from Incarnate Word, one of them doing it in Miami, and I think this is almost a little spitting image of what Cam Ward has been able to do this season is stay composed in the pocket. The defense rushes upfield and don't have good gap integrity and lane integrity while rushing. And Ryan Stubblefield says, don't worry about it. I will make you pay for not having that good gap integrity. And cashes in 6 points for the Bulldogs on that run.
Extra point up and good. 26-0 lead for South Carolina State. They lost their quarterback, at least for the moment, and they have not taken a step back. That's credit to Ryan Stubblefield. He's engineered another touchdown drop, this time with the elusiveness. Is that his shirt? It's basically unraveling all the way into the end zone. It doesn't matter.
Can I have some, Grandma?
Can I have your youth?
Sure.
Commit to the Skittles. Keep eating. You live here now.
Best day ever.
Commit to the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With Venture X, earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy and turn everyday.
Williams for South Carolina State told us he wants his team to be balanced, but he's going to do what it takes to win. In this case, it's run the football, even if your shirt is unraveling on your way into the end zone.
Yeah, what I can tell you is this was almost symbolic to what we saw last night. If you tuned into Netflix, Mike Tyson did an interview, ended up walking away on camera You could see the backside in the jockstrap that he was wearing. That was a very close call there with how that unraveled on his shirt. Thankfully, nothing was exposed except for the defense by the Bears on that play.
Man, we're doing a football game. You're talking about Tyson's butt cheeks. What's going on here?
Still the greatest of all time.
Father Todd caught up with him last night. So for Morgan State, man, we've been saying you got to find answers. Have not to this point. 6 drives, all 3 and outs. There's a pick 6 in there. So really at this point, Deuce Taylor, I don't know if this is all on him or if he needs help from his guys around him, but something needs to change right now. 3 of 8, 9 yards and a pick.
Got to move the pocket, got to get some misdirection happening, got to throw some quick screens outside on the edge, wide receiver, running back screens, get the pocket moving.
Here's Collins. Try to bounce it outside. He does for the moment, but again, Smith, he missed the tackle, but still did enough to let his teammates rally to the football. What is it like when you're out there and you just can't figure it out? Nothing's working.
Yeah, it's humiliating and frustrating, and it's one of those things where you put in all this time in practice throughout the course of the week. You know the look that they're going to line up in, but whenever you're trying to execute, you just can't seem to hit on the plays that you think would be successful. So you begin to get frustrated and start to press a little bit. So they got to be careful. Just take it one play at a time.
Little delay, and that's not going to work either as Jaden Jones makes a stop. Well, it's tough because it's a South Carolina State defense that can move laterally, sideline to sideline, but they're also stout right up the middle.
Yeah, they're built very well. I mean, Coach Berry, he's had the success at Benedict, won 2 national championships at the D2 level. He knows exactly what it takes to be successful in football. I mean, football is still what it is and what we know today. And taking that same type of process and thought and mindset, you see it apply, and undefeated in the MEAC play is what you get from that type of coaching.
3rd down, and there it is. Crawley over the middle, still rolling to the 50-yard line. And for the first time tonight, the Morgan State Bears move the chains. 1st down.
Well, you see one-on-one opportunity. Andre Cawley uses the leverage of the safety coming down out of control to his advantage. Takes a little skinny post, picks up some yak, and huge 1st down for the Bears, get their offense started.
Collins on the ground, met by Josh Barker. Nothing there. Barker not big, 255, but the quickness in twitch helps him make up for the lack of ideal size.
Yeah, Barker had a phenomenal game last week. 3 tackles, 1.5 sacks, 2.5 TFLs, and a forced fumble. That's what you get from this interior defensive line between him and Hannibal being able to stuff and clog up the lane. It makes it extremely difficult to run right in between the tackles.
Collins got 1. Taj Carter, clean pocket, flags are down everywhere. Complete to the 40-yard line. And the catch was made by Joseph Kinnerly. See if this is moving back.
Cody, offense, number 76. 10-yard penalty. Replay 2nd down.
And DeJour Dixon called for the hold. Move it back 10 yards. What happens here?
He just does a job of pushing him down, then stays right on top of him.
That ain't right.
The coach not going to like seeing that on film, especially whenever this offense is struggling to move the ball. He just put them in a worse position.
Leatherberry in motion. Deuce Taylor scrambling and down at the mark him down at the 48-yard line. So ready for a 3rd and forever on the drive that you pick up your first down of the night. You got to do it again.
You see, looking to the sideline, they picked up that first down because of the one-on-one opportunity. Expect a similar type of defense here again. Somebody has to win, and maybe it's Crawley the top of the point at the top of your screen there to be able to take advantage.
Here comes the pressure. Had him for a moment, did Broughton. Taylor throwing on the run, short on the sideline. But Jaden Broughton nearly got him. Grabbed him on that collar. Could not bring him down. Still does the trick, though. It's going to force a punt.
The miscues, whenever you have that holding penalty, it sets your team back. That's whenever you start trying to figure out how do you overcome not only the defense that you're going against, but now you got to overcome yourself and the penalties and the miscues that you're having. It's just too much for this drive, but something that Coach Wilson is going to have to eliminate and get figured out at halftime.
Short punt, and not a good one. This will be spotted out around the 25-yard line. So Eric Phoenix was hurt early in this game. They're running a speed option. Went to slide. He was hit high in the neck, head area. No flag was called, but he got up limping. An apparent lower body issue. We saw him try to run to the sideline, then went and sat down. This is the play which ended his afternoon. And you can see it was an awkward slide. Clearly should have been a targeting call there. Nothing was called, but we have not seen him return. As Ron Stubblefield has this thing under control, but there's pressure. It changes so quick. Morgan State trying to pounce on it, but it was Chib Oguyo that was there to force the football out. And the Bears have it. That's the turning point they need it.
And Chib is playing his best football right now, is what we heard from Coach whenever we talked about guys that are standout on the defense. Elijah Williams obviously gets a ton of credit for what he provides, but Chib gets those one-on-one opportunities. Whenever he does get a one-on-one opportunity, he makes you pay. Unblocked on the backside, forces great field position for the Bears offense.
Oguyo really hasn't done a lot this season until the past few weeks, and he's come on like gangbusters. And of course, it was Elijah Williams there to scoop it up. Morgan State has to do it here from the 5-yard line. Low snap. Miles Myrie back to the line of scrimmage, and a flag is down. Does get the push for an extra 2 yards.
Holding. Offense, number 58. 10-yard penalty. Replay first down.
We've seen some games with a lot of penalties. I don't recall as many with this magnitude in the first half.
Yeah, especially in the first quarter and how they've played out now. Again, another opportunity. Morgan State, last drive, picked up their first down. This drive, get the ball inside of the 10-yard line. Just miscues hurt you in a big way.
More size at receiver. Joseph Owumi checks in. 18, top of the formation. But it's going to be Myrie on the ground. Tries to stutter for more yards and takes it down to the 11-yard line. But that's why it's such a backbreaker. You got the ball at the 5.
Yeah.
And when it's 1st and goal at the 5, the playbook that's open compared to when it's 1st and goal at the
15
is
yep.
vastly different.
Yeah, it looks extremely different. That was a great pickup on first down. Miles Myrie and this offense being able to get the ball moving considering where they are. But ultimately, like you mentioned, the playbook is a lot different whenever this defense can run sideline to sideline. It has caused pressure all night long so far.
Deuce Taylor feeling the pressure, gets there quick, floats it up, incomplete. And it was Josh Barker. Had that hand being checked out moments ago, coming back with a vengeance.
There's just no time for Deuce Taylor to be able to set up in the pocket. As soon as he gets comfortable in his drop, wow. I mean, Josh Barker is already back there. As he's able to throw the ball away, he still takes a hit. That's how close Josh Barker was from getting a sack, quite honestly, earlier. And I mean, Deuce Taylor just being heads-up play, throwing the ball out of bounds, trying to save some field position.
Some confusion with the personnel. There's a late change, so it will be held if South Carolina State wants to match. They don't. Crawley's in the backfield to the left. It's going to be a speed option. Underhand pitch. Here comes Leatherberry trying to find a seam. Leatherberry fighting and finding the end zone. The response that Morgan State needs with a little trickery.
And again, just how we talked about it, drawing it up earlier, misdirection is what you have to utilize to help neutralize this aggressive defense. They go with the option look going towards the left. Use Jason Collins as a decoy. Flip it to Malik Leatherberry, who's a dynamic returner and dynamic receiver, forces a missed tackle, and then he will not be denied getting into the end zone. First points for the Bears on the board by way of Malik Leatherberry.
They call him Juju, and Juju comes through. Well, let's face it, Morgan State was on the ropes. They're still in this race in the MEAC, but to remain in the race, they've got to beat South Carolina State. Needed this one, Fozzie.
Yeah, again, you see a little misdirection. He gets the ball. That's a guy that knows exactly what to do with it. Not big in stature, but definitely strong and very physical at the point of attack. Breaks that tackle and then finds his way into the end zone for 6.
But also have to go back to the play by Chib Oguyo.
Yes.
He's the man that set it up, forcing the football away from Ryan Stubblefield. Elijah Williams recovered, and then they got immediately backed up. First to go at the 5, move it back 10, but still finding a way to get it done. Say ain't over. We got time.
Absolutely. Finding a way to overcome the miscues that they had. They hadn't done it in the first quarter. They hadn't done it up until that point in the second quarter. So seeing that unfold is a talking point that Coach Wilson can go at halftime and say, hey, whenever we do things properly, these are the results.
You can say, look, we really can't play that much worse offensively up until that most recent drive, and yet we're still in this game. Low kick, Carter with the return. Carter to the 35-yard line. And that's where he's going to be brought down. But it was a strip sack that was able to get Morgan State back in this game to set up Leatherberry.
Yeah, again, you see Chib coming off of the edge, unblocked. Might have been miscommunication by the offensive line there. But right place, right time. Elijah Williams, who lives in the backfield of any opponent that he's going against, recovers it and sets up Morgan State with their first points of the game.
There is an injured Morgan State Bear down. But he is woozy, not a good sign.
Joseph Murray on the special teams kickoff had a big collision right at the point of attack down around that 25-yard line, and you can tell he's took the brunt of that impact, and it's affecting him in a way right now. We've called his name several times. This could be...
Well, he's one of the stars of this special teams unit for Morgan State. Grad student out of Huntingtown, Maryland. Started his career at Bowie State, where Damon Wilson was the head coach. Transferred from Marshall, and it's good to see him walking off the field on his own, because initial moments did not look good for Joseph Murray. But just thankful he's looking good. It's a difficult game, a tough game, as you know. And there are players that play at a higher level of physicality than others, and Joseph Murray is one of those guys.
Yeah, fearless with reckless abandonment. That's how he plays the game, and that's how he separates himself from others on the football field.
It's Ryan Stubblefield's game at the moment. Last time he was strip sacked. Coming back to the tight end. This is a good recipe. And Keyshawn Toney, Fozzie, he wants all that action.
Talking about playing with physical recklessness and being able to showcase that physicality on full display. That's what Keyshawn Toney did on the sideline, and this is now the second time he's finished a run off in a very physical and imposing way.
He's vicious. Love physical football. Gotta love watching him play. Adams on the ground. Falls forward for a few yards. But here is that little exclamation at the end of this run.
Yeah, 6'2", 237 pounds. You get that man in space. Who's going to stop him? And it doesn't matter who's in the way. Take on one, take on two. It doesn't matter. I take you all on. Toney comes out on top after that collision.
That's on Brian Stukes, a guy that also loves to seek out contact.
Yeah, that's a matchup that both of those guys probably been waiting for.
Second down for Stubblefield. Fake to his right. And run all the way. Brought down by Elijah Williams. And that brings us to the 2-minute timeout. South Carolina State up 26-7. They've had this thing in control, but the Bears fighting back.
Can I have some, Grandma?
Can I have your...
Dad, South Carolina State is dominating this game. 26 unanswered points to open the game, but number 12 right there, Malik Leatherberry, found the end zone. Finally hit Morgan State on the board for a team that opened with 6 straight 3-and-outs with the pick 6 sprinkled in before strip sack set up that touchdown run. Eric Phoenix, star quarterback, is out. Ryan Stubblefield, his replacement, and that is complete over the 40-yard line, far side of the field, to Anaj Carter.
It's a great execution by that offense, finding the chemistry between the two with the timing. Anaj Carter knew exactly where the ball was going to be. Ryan Stubblefield trusted where the depth was going to be by Anaj Carter. Pick up the first down, contested catch as well as the coverage was there. But a better throw and execution beats better coverage, typically 9 times out of 10.
Stubblefield gonna let it rip. Open man overthrowing Justin Smith-Brown, who was thinking about his second long touchdown of the night.
You can tell that's one Ryan Stubblefield wishes he could have back. Obviously, had an opportunity one-on-one coverage. You don't see that often with man-to-man by this defense, and obviously the Bulldogs wanted to take advantage of it, and just a bit too far, and that's where the wind plays a factor, where that ball carries as it's in the air for a little bit longer on those deeper throws.
Stubblefield had 10 pass attempts coming into this game. Casey Adams shaking his way to the 27-yard line. So Casey Adams taking more of the workload of the backfield. We have not seen DeAndre Duhart tonight. It's been Adams and Smith show in the backfield. Stubblefield trying to take advantage. Back shoulder one-on-one and caught. Anaj Carter, how'd he do it? Only he knows. Flag is down. Back of the...
That'll be declined.
27. Stubblefield saw that one-on-one, and Anaj Carter did the rest.
Well, you talk about strange things happen on a full moon, and that back shoulder throw to Anaj Carter is executed probably as well as you like to see. That's a big-time play right there. And the execution pre-snap, going to the look, and then the double count is where that play was made successful with the mechanics and the execution.
Following shot to the left, and this is blown dead.
Timeout, Wayne State. Game clock to 51 seconds.
And I believe that is timeout on Morgan State. Yes, their first timeout used this half. Now, that's impressive from Ryan Stubblefield, because that comes a play after he missed the deep shot. Because Smith-Brown wanted one back, made up for it. That's a next-level throw right there.
Absolutely, and we talked about the play that he wanted to have back. go into the run game with the play that Casey Adams breaks off a big run. That clock is running. They do the double mechanics where they turn and look as the clock is going, check with me, come back, and then do the double count check with me, which forced the offsides, and then the great throw. It's a perfect execution by this offense in the red zone on a 2-minute drill.
Trying to cash in, high, in motion. And it's going to be Adams with a carry. Hit hard immediately down at the 5-yard line. A little bow up time for the Bears interior. Elijah Williams, man, leading that assault.
There's second and a half, 30 seconds.
And timeout now called by South Carolina State. What do you make of the timeout here? They still had time to get a play off comfortably. Is this more just to do that? Backup quarterback get on the same page?
A lot of times, whenever you see this happen, they have a particular play that they want to run at this exact particular time, especially in the red zone. We talked with Coach Berry and Coach Williams about situational football, and that's what they practice probably the most in the country, is what Coach Berry told us. This is one of those situational type plays where you get inside the red zone, inside that 5-6 fringe area, and they have a go-to play that I think they'll try to find and utilize.
Smith was telling Shaw something, so the two tailbacks were exchanging information. See if they are involved. Stubblefield takes a snap, and he's going to throw corner of the end zone, and caught. Caden High. Style points 2 on the get up, but it's the get down that adds another 6. And what are we doing here with that celebration? I don't know, but I love it.
They enjoying themselves. You see the RPO. Pressure in the face by Ryan Stubblefield. Does a great job of standing in the pocket and then just throws the ball up. Says, I know my guy is down there. Let me get an opportunity to make a play. We've seen Caden High do this on multiple examples and occasions. 5 touchdown catches now for Caden High over the past 4 games. That is a man that is on fire, and you can respect that. My goodness, but lost in the catch was the throw from Ryan Stubblefield. He had 2 dimes on this drive. Absolutely. After a missed throw. With pressure in his face as well. The back shoulder throw and then the corner throw to Caden High. Highlights of this drive to be able to pinpoint it with 6 points.
They had some great coaching to draw up the right plays. High snap, and still is good. Great preparation to get your backup quarterback ready for this moment with Eric Phoenix, your star, down, but then ultimately execution by your quarterback.
Yeah, again, getting thrown in the face, takes a shot right to the lower body as well. Gives this guy a chance in the back of the end zone on the corner route. Caden High able to use the leverage to his advantage, and it's just a numbers game whenever you got an opportunity to do that, and the toe tap swag at the end to be able to get 6 points in. I think that's the new dance that the young guys are doing now. I don't know, Lowell, maybe I'll see you doing that.
Oh, come on now. Come on now.
Walk out of the booth. Is that your go-to move moving forward?
Yeah, why not? It is now. If Caden High can do it, I want some of that. This man making the most of his opportunity. MEAC title on the line, and Ryan Stubblefield well on his way to coming off the bench and leading his Bulldogs to just do it and get a win to claim a spot in the Celebration Bowl. And using that win to just crank this thing, almost nailing our camera in the end zone. South Carolina State with the response. 6-game winning streak. Longest for this program since 2009. Caden High, another one of those young men that transferred from D2 Benedict College to continue to play with his head coach there, Chinnis Berry, who's now the head coach here at South Carolina State. And he's on fire too. That kid is playing as well as any receiver on the FCS level right now. Playing it safe, Miles Myrie trying to get something going, and he is just chased down. It's Jaden Jones with the tackle.
It's going to be an opportunity, I think, going into halftime. Try to regroup if you're Morgan State. Reassess the game plan and talk about ways you can try to utilize some momentum. But first, you got to get stops. As South Carolina State's going to be the one with the football coming out of half. There's a lot of things that need to be reassessed.
Well, Berry's team is now outscoring conference opponents 120-28 in the first half so far this year. And think about it. The only time Morgan State gets on the board is off a drive that really started at the 5-yard line.
Yep.
Went back with the penalty when it started at the 5. And Fozzie, I know you're fired up for what's coming up next. You know what it's all about. We got the bands. And great ones at that coming up at the half.
Can I have some, Grandma?
Can I have your youth?
Sure.
Commit to the Skittles. Keep eating.
You live here now.
Best day ever. Commit to the rainbow. Taste the rainbow.
With Dexcom G7, managing your diabetes just got easier. So, what's your glucose number right now? Good thing you don't need a finger stick. How's all that food affect your glucose? Oh, the answer's on your phone. What if you're hitting low at night? Wow, it can alert you. And you can even track your goals. Manage your diabetes with confidence with Dexcom G7, the most accurate CGM. Learn more at Dexcom.com.
You have to have a dream, a goal. You have to be willing to work for it.
We are not going to stop chasing the dream.
All presented by McDonald's. Here in Northeast Baltimore, Maryland, Lower Glendale, Fozzie Whitaker, MEAC title on the line. If South Carolina State can keep this up and take down Morgan State, it would be the Bulldogs in year number 1 for Berry, going all the way to the Celebration Bowl to take on the champs of the SWAC. Now, Morgan State's still in that race, but they need an epic and historical comeback here in the second half to be able to pull this one off. Now, Eric Phoenix was the man, the star of the South Carolina State offense. Got the start. He was hurt on an option play in the first half. Ryan Stubblefield has come in. Both quarterbacks have been brilliant for this offense.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing is the composure that they both exuded in the pocket. You get, obviously, your starting quarterback and the confidence level is still where you want it to be. He goes out, Stubblefield comes in, and that confidence didn't waver, and he's been able to lead scoring drives every time he's been out there besides the one that resulted in success for Morgan State.
And as big as the story is for Stubblefield, story of the South Carolina State defense has been just as vital for the Bulldogs to get this lead. It has been an ugly half of football for Morgan State. 1 first down, that's it for the Bears. Short kick, and it's going to be fielded and down at the 33-yard line. And it's time to bring back out Ryan Stubblefield. 2 touchdowns, 1 on the ground, 1 on the air to Caden High. He's looked comfortable, Fozzie. He's looked in control of this Bulldogs offense.
Yeah, he doesn't look like this is his first time playing. And you see from the drive chart, they had the first 3 and out, then a touchdown led by Eric Phoenix, and then a punt. And then ever since then, Ryan Stubblefield has been on. And I think the confidence that he has exuded and then just knowing what to do has afforded this offense to not really miss a beat.
KZ Adams. Give him 4 yards on first down. Top offense in the MEAC against the top defense in the conference. And Caden High is down, and he is hurt. Training staff now checking on him.
That's a huge, huge blow to this South Carolina State offense. If Caden High is injured and out a significant time, you'd be out your starting quarterback and your starting wide receiver, who are the 2 best combination players in the conference, as they've put that on display.
And quick to get up And hopefully will be okay. Leading receiver for the South Carolina State team.
Walking uncomfortably off the field. Something to keep your eye on.
2nd and 6 here for Ryan Stubblefield. Bulldogs have won 6 straight. Rolling. Doesn't matter who the quarterback is. That's been a familiar target. Keyshawn Toney, standout tight end, with the reception.
Almost looked as though he wasn't down, but I guess he was. And then they reset the ball. But that's a heads-up play. Being alert and aware. Tony's been an integral part of the success that this offense has had.
Yeah, now 4 catches for Keyshawn Toney tonight. 3rd and short. Empty, and it goes under the legs of Stubblefield. Heads-up play to just pounce on this and not try to be a hero with a 33-7 lead.
Yeah, and for Morgan State, that's exactly what Coach Wilson drew up for them to come out with is, hey, we've been on the ropes over the past couple of drives in the first half, but let's make a statement. They provide some pressure, and at the point of attack, Stubblefield's not able to get the snap properly, whether it's center quarterback exchange, communication may be a key to that, but ultimately it results in a 3-and-out on their first offensive possession.
Here's Dyson Roberts on the punt. Malik Leatherberry is back for the return. This is a boomer, and it's going to check up. Fabulous punt by Dyson Roberts. That's going to be down at the 5-yard line. That is a touch for someone that we've been told is one of the most athletic players on this team, and he's a punter.
Yeah, bounces right at the 8-yard line. Gets a fortuitous bounce, stops right around that 5-yard line. What an incredible punt by Roberts there. Athlete in full effect, and then the passion that Barry exudes, you can see that right there.
Getting up.
Show me something, young bull.
Punters are athletes too. Backed up now is Deuce Taylor. On the ground, carried to the left side is Jason Collins. But really just find some semblance of a rhythm has been the issue for the Bears. Only touchdown drive was off the strip sack, where Morgan State started with the football at the 5-yard line, moved back because of a penalty, but it was Leatherberry able to rush it in for the Bears.
I think they need to go back to more of that misdirection, get the ball out quickly, try to get this defense playing on the heels rather than them being the aggressor.
The Bulldogs front has been awesome tonight. And there's the catch from Crawley. Crawley trying to leg it out, and it's finally brought down at the 33-yard line. Andre Crawley, clutch catch, senior from right here in Baltimore.
Yeah, they go back to the very first play that they were able to pick up a first down on a little short, skinny post by Andre Crawley, one-on-one with Aaron Smith. That's usually goes to the offensive side of the ball in the slot, and he makes them pay in a big way. Big first down. Get out of the shadows of your own end zone.
Leading receiver for this Bears team, high IQ player, picking up his 2nd catch of at least 20 tonight. Deuce pressured and will be dropped. He was engulfed by the Bulldogs pass rush. Big John Hannibal with the sack.
And here's the thing that Deuce Taylor's experience as he's dropping back in the pocket, he's having to step up because of these edge rushers forcing him into the interior. And that plays right into what John Hannibal wants to do, is be able to be one of those big, stout guys that gets off the block late and forces a sack right up the gut. 2 TFLs and a sack on the night already for this defense. They've made their presence felt so far in the first half and now in the first drive of the second half.
Only 2nd sack of the year for Hannibal. Deuce Taylor gets bumped, and it's back-to-back sacks by Big John. Oh yeah, rub that belly, big boy. You deserve it.
Back-to-back again. This is where you get to see how this defensive line plays so well off of each other. And guys, Josh Barker and Ashad Hall forcing the issue to force Deuce Taylor out of the pocket. And then again, John Hannibal, they playing complementary, is the recipient on the back end of being able to get the sack. Then this defense forcing a 3rd and 19 for Morgan State.
Trying to become the first MEAC team in the last 25 years to have 4 sacks in 7 straight games. And there could be number 3. Josh Barker gets home. Back-to-back sacks by the Bulldogs, pinning this flag. And that will stand. The Morgan State offensive line is getting annihilated by John Hannibal and his buddies inside.
Yeah, Josh Barker's ball get off. He's just quicker than the offensive lineman ahead of him, and then he shoots the gap, uses his hands, a quick swim technique to be able to get pressure and penetration, ultimately get the 3rd consecutive sack for that defense.
4th of the year for Barker. Short punt is going to stay on this side of the field. But that is how you establish your dominance as a defensive line. Leave no doubt. Hannibal had 2 in a row. Then Barker with a big one on 3rd down for the Dogs.
I have some
Elation at the hands of South Carolina State, proving that they are back. This historic program has been one of the best in the MEAC. And Willie Jeffries and Buddy Pugh showing that they can maintain that with their new man, Chinnis Berry. Ryan Stubblefield still engineering the Bulldogs offense. He will throw on 1st down, lets it heave, and there is definitely hand fighting there. And Justin Smith-Brown was caught off with Jason Prevard. This is going to go against Prevard. That's clear as day.
Yeah, Prevard didn't even think the ball was being thrown in his direction.
15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic 1st down.
You see here, double move. Grabs onto the jersey of Justin Smith. Pulls him down. Then he puts his hands up as if he didn't touch him. It was blatant, clear as day. And that's going to cost you, young man, in this defense. A 15-yard penalty.
But the Bears coach is still very high on Prevard, especially with his length at 6'3". They think he has a future in professional football at some level. To the ground. Adams down to the 25-yard line. What do you think of KZ Adams, what he brings?
You know, ultimately, I love the way this offense has performed from a balance perspective. KZ Adams, Tyler Smith, both of those guys have provided a dynamic running attack. And then in the air, they've been able to be very efficient as well, trying to find their space and their timing. And I think the balance that they have is truly exceptional for what they're trying to get accomplished tonight.
Stubblefield flowing with that pressure. He's got plenty of room. One-on-one, out of bounds inside the 20. Stubblefield gets up to top speed very quick.
Yeah, he has that little different shifting of gears that whenever he experiences the pocket collapsing in the way that he did there, as Chip tries to run him down, he just can't get there. Stubblefield knows exactly what to do. He playing like a veteran senior that he is, that's played a lot of football from Incarnate Word.
Gotta love the pump fake far beyond the line of scrimmage. It works.
It does.
It works. Adams jumps out of one shoestring tackle, but it is met by the Bears for the stop. Set up 2nd down. Elijah Williams was there.
Yeah, KJ Scott, Elijah Williams, both of those guys did a tremendous job of setting the edge and ultimately minimizing that game. And just what I was talking about, the rushing attack being very complimentary, that's something that Morgan State on that play decided they had no more setting the edge and penetrating and getting the TFL on that 1st down.
Keyshawn Toney and Nick Brown both in a tight end now. Brown slips out, and it's going to go to Toney. Stay hot, Keyshawn Toney. 3rd touchdown of the season for Keyshawn Toney, and Ryan Stubblefield making sure this offense does not miss a beat without Eric Phoenix.
Ironically, this was the exact same play they scored on right before halftime. The only difference is it's out of a different personnel and formation. You got the flat route and the corner route. You got the pressure in Ryan Stubberfield's face. Same results. Pressure in the face, corner route, touchdown for the Bulldogs in the end zone. Great execution down in the red zone.
What can you say about the composure of Ryan Stubblefield? Comes in for the guy that's probably going to be the MEAC Offensive Player of the Year when Eric Phoenix goes down. And Ryan Stubblefield is looking like a guy that's had control of this offense all season long. Not a dude that only threw 10 passes before getting into this game. Locked in. More, I think if we were going to have a battle, Morgan State could hang with South Carolina State. Give us something to bring the intrigue into the second half, especially fourth quarter. Not the case here so far today, Fozzie.
Yeah, it's been all Bulldogs in this game. Expected the defensive battle to kind of take place where both offenses would need a little bit more time to figure out what each opposing defense would do. The number 1 and the number 2 defense in the MEAC going against each other, and ultimately, the Bulldogs have been in utter and complete control of this game and really have put it out of hand after the first quarter once they started getting rolling.
Bears, the last MEAC team to beat the Bulldogs. That went down November of last year. These Bulldogs are back. Nasty. Another boomer. This will set up Morgan State at the 25-yard line. Real simple on this drive. Got to protect your quarterback.
Yeah, ultimately, this defensive line by South Carolina State has peeled off and made sure that they had their presence felt. And you look at guys being in the backfield, making plays. Hannibal name has been said multiple times tonight. Josh Barker has been a thorn in the side of Deuce Taylor. And then you bring in Ashad Hall and Jaden Broughton, guys that have shown you that they can be impact players on the defensive line. And collaboratively, they've caused a nightmare for this Morgan State offense.
Crawley motions. Collins gets the carry. Collins has to fight hard to get 2, but that is a stout defensive front that does not want to move. Josh Barker wants to stop and switch at quarterback now as Dominique Anthony gets a shot. Junior from Temple Hills, Maryland. 7 of 8 on the season, has 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Is this one of those situations where you just got to make a move?
I think injury. Deuce Taylor was, after that last hit, came off a little shaken up.
Anthony with the empty backfield to Crawley. Crawley will try to cut it back inside against the grain. And he's stopped by Jaden Jones. This would be quarterback number 3 for Morgan State. Taj Smith still out with an ankle injury. And Deuce Taylor exiting this game. 3rd and 5. Crawley does it again. Fozzie, that's the same look that's been cashed in now 3 times for 3rd down conversions for these Bears. It's the only thing working on that down.
Yeah, the little slant slash skinny post in that play has been something that they need to go back and keep utilizing.
And a low throw caught by Crawley, so back-to-back for him. He has really carried this receiving core in this game. Outside of Malik Leatherberry, who has that touchdown run, it's really been all Crawley. Throw in rhythm. And this time is Joseph Kennerly with the catch. JoJo picks up the 1st down.
It's 2 first downs on the drive. This is the time you start getting some rhythm.
Anthony to throw again. It's behind. Ball's getting out quick, but this one, really no shot for Kennerly.
Yeah, the difficult part of this is obviously the defense isn't playing nearly as aggressive as they were early in the game, being up 33 points But you got a new quarterback trying to find the rhythm with your new receivers in a game that's already out of hand. It makes it a little bit difficult for that chemistry to come through, but that's kind of what you're expected to do whenever you come in, produce and make plays. They picked up 2 first downs so far this drive. Can they do it a third time?
Can't be a ton of reps this season with Dominique at quarterback. He's lit up, high pointed, and broke it up. Flag is down. Before the snap, South Carolina State.
Defense, number 1. 5-yard penalty. Play second down.
Did you see Hot Potato with the hand warmer?
Yes.
They were all throwing around someone's hand warmer before that stop, that snap. They didn't know where it came from, where it needed to go.
Another thing on the free play that you don't want to see is a quarterback getting hit with a free shot. Being able to protect him might be the next level of drawing the offsides, and then also protecting your play caller should be the point of emphasis.
Dominic Anthony, second quarterback for the Bears tonight. The float, the touch. Looks like that needs to be caught by Miles Myrie. Typically sure-handed tailback, does not hang on. That brings us to a 3rd and 5. And you see Miles Myrie telling Dominic Anthony, that's all me.
Yeah.
I need to pick you up there.
Yeah, and he knows it's an opportunity for him. If he catches that ball, he got a chance to be man-to-man coverage and run a long ways, break the tackle of Aaron Smith, and have an opportunity to put him explosive on the board, but definitely a first down opportunity. Now you're 3rd and medium, trying to figure out what play to call next.
What you got on 3rd down, Dominic Anthony. Awkward throw. Looking for Tyler Wilkins. There is a flag down. It's almost a hook shot throw. Just to get rid of the ball.
Offense, number 73. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
All that pressure and a hold. And it's declined to bring up this 4th down. But at this point, Morgan State, why not? You got nothing to lose. And they do have their offensive personnel. Look at the South Carolina State sideline. They're finding the juice, even up 40-7. They want this stop. Fourth and 5, Dominic Anthony. Looking for some magic. This will have the distance. Crawley again. A 3rd down conversion, and now a 4th down conversion on this drive alone.
Yeah, again on 3rd down, the combination of success seems to be find number 10, get the ball to him, and he's able to make a play.
And now going quick, Anthony to the middle, flag down. Back to Crawley, who spins out of a stop near the 25-yard line. Let's figure out what this hanky is all about. There is also a South Carolina State player down.
Yeah, Rashawn Washington was offsides at that snap, trying to get back a line. We'll see what the call is as we're waiting on the official to give us news of what to do if they want to decline.
Offsides. Defense, number 44. 5-yard penalty from the previous spot. 1st down.
So Rashawn Washington offsides, but more of the concern is Josh Barker is down. Saw him banged up a little earlier in the game where he was holding his left hand. He was able to return and has been a force. Here's Barker in 0 on the white jersey.
See, he lands right on the cleat of Crawley in that midsection area.
Also looked like, though, he was holding his wrist as well. Regardless, not a good to be in.
Not at all. And don't want to speculate there. It appeared as though that cleat kind of ended up in the stomach.
Not in an ideal spot.
Not where you want a cleat to
well, there's not many places.
be on your body. I guess, yeah, you don't want to be cleated anywhere for that matter, but ultimately Barker gets up under his own power and walking off the field.
And it looks like he got his hand warmer back.
Was it his hand warmer or was it someone else's hand?
I don't know. You'd have to go back to that play.
Hot potato with a hand warmer.
Yeah. Usually it's just a towel, and you see, someone throw the towel.
Just throw it away.
It's exchanged hands multiple times.
Hands were cold.
Very true. It is a chilly night here in Baltimore. Wind ripping at times, but it feels like football. Let's put it that way. First and 5 now after that offsides call. Anthony feels pressure. There is some contact there. Not sure if it was a face mask, but the hands of Washington did get up high as Hannibal is able to make the stop.
Positive yardage is what you have to have. And Dominic Anthony, although it's his first drive, he's provided a little spark for this offense, being able to stay ahead of the chains and moving in a positive direction on each play.
Anthony's first drive coming in for Deuce Taylor. Crawley in motion, typically goes to him after those motions. Low throw incomplete. Looking for Leatherberry. Leatherberry, the man with the lone touchdown for Morgan State. It was actually Jaden Coffin was the intended target. First pass that has gone Coffin's way.
Footwork by Anthony in the pocket there. Got a little off rhythm, didn't step directly into his throw towards his target. That's why it was thrown inaccurately and ultimately ended up in an incompletion.
3rd and 2 for Morgan State. Confident throw, looking for the big target, Tyler Wilkins. Far off the mark. There's another flag down.
Holding. Offense, number 66. 10-yard penalty. Replay 3rd down.
It's going to be against the guard, Blake Scriber, freshman from Cincinnati.
And this is what's been kind of the trend for Morgan State. Anytime they get something going offensively, they seem to have a miscue that pushes them back behind the 8 ball. That holding call there now pushes them to 3rd and 13 instead of having a 3rd and 3 opportunity to convert on a first down.
And that 3rd and 3, you're probably keeping your offense out there on a 4th down as well. At this distance, you need a chunk play here on 3rd down. Dominic Anthony going back to that big target. And it's Wilkins with his first catch.
That's that chunk play that you mentioned. Being able to make it 4th and manageable here for them to go forward. And you're looking at about 4th and 5 yards. That's a much easier call on the offensive coordinator than if it was 4th and 13.
Crawley had the 4th down conversion this drive. He's in the slot on the right side of the formation. Dominic Anthony, the throw is complete. And the big fella rumbling down to the 2-yard line. Tyler Wilkins coming up with his 2nd catch. He's now got 3 catches on the season, 2 of those on this drive.
Yeah, as you see there, Dominic Anthony working through his progression. First read's not there, second read's not there. Finds Tyler Wilkins on the 3rd read for a big completion to pick up a first down. Back-to-back plays, Tyler Wilkins has been the go-to guy for this Morgan State Bears offense.
45-yard pickup. That's a guy, you're looking at those 2 right there, 17 and 18. Wilkins and Owumi, they're get off the bus first type receivers. They give this Morgan State team something with size that they don't have from Crawley and Leatherberry.
I think that's why we're seeing them in there in this opportunity, especially on 3rd and 4th down, where you got to have some bigger size. Getting into the red zone now is whenever typically we see them come in from a film study perspective, and having that to your advantage is something that they need to lean into here with the ball on the 2-yard line.
And speaking of size, John Hannibal slow to walk off the field got dinged up on that play. First and goal from the 2-yard line here. Malik Leatherberry last time in this area. He came up with a lone touchdown for Morgan State. What kind of play call does Sosi Paulo Wright follow up with here? First drive for Dominic Anthony, trying to cash in. Tight end motions to the backfield. Collins wrapped up by Jaden Jones. TFL for the Bulldogs. This is reminiscent of the last time that we saw Morgan State down at this part of the field. It was a loss on first down via a penalty. This time it's created by the Bulldogs defense.
And you see the Bulldogs are fired up right now in the red zone. They do not want to give up a touchdown. They may have played a little bit more lax and loose in the field, but with a touchdown being on the line here in the red zone and deep within their own 5-yard line, this defense wants to make a statement, and they did it on that first play, and they'll try to do it again 3 more times against this offense.
It is Collins and Crowley in the backfield. Matt Lowe, the up back at tight end, and there's movement. Low snap. And I believe a timeout by Morgan State.
Timeout. Morgan State. First of the half. Be a 30-second timeout.
This is one of those situations, we talked about it a little bit in the first half. You just got to make sure the play call is right at this moment.
Yeah, the timing didn't seem correct. Maybe it was a personnel issue that they were going through there. Don't take a penalty. Do not force a penalty. And by being able to have the timeout, able to regroup and say, hey, let's select the right play for us in this right moment for this situation. Second and goal from the 4-yard line. What works best with what we want to do and how we can utilize our advantages. That's what they're talking about and discussing, and hopefully plan on executing as they come out for this second down play.
You know, he's been really quiet tonight. Marquez Phillips, number 4. He's back on the sideline for this play. Entered as the second leading receiver in terms of yards for this program. And now it's Miles Myree in the backfield. It's Crawley with him. And it's going to go to Crawley. Jump throw. Pulled it back. And it's going to go down for a loss. Crawley with 2 touchdown passes this season. He was looking at number 3. But Quantre Harry and John Hannibal were not falling for that.
Yeah, that play happened because Marcus Samuels on the back end covered the intended receiver. And whenever, obviously, Andre Crawley doesn't want to go one-on-one against a guy like John Hannibal, and then you add in Harry on top of that, it's a recipe for disaster right there. But it all happens from the jump with Marcus Samuels being able to take away that first read option on the pop pass.
So it's 3rd and long now after the TFL. And if the Bulldogs' defensive front was stout in the first half, they're straight up abusive here in the second half. Anthony picked off in the end zone. Diego Addison, he wants some more. Cutback has a chance. Looking for blockers down the field. Morgan State, will they catch him? Addison has to beat Anthony. He does. Diego Addison using every inch of the field for the 100-yard pick 6.
We talked about doubling down in the red zone. This defense gave up some yardage, a couple of first downs on this drive, which we had not seen. Dominic Anthony was putting together something that this Morgan State offense was fiending for in this game. And Diego Addison says, not so fast, my friends. You get in the red zone, this is where we turn up and perform at our best. And he takes his 6th the other way. And he did it the long way, making sure he got all of the yardage on that interception, pick 6 return for a touchdown.
They had 4 interceptions last week against Howard. They got a couple more tonight, and both of them have been returned for touchdowns.
You know, the positive and the negative about a pick 6 is you get the points, But now you got to come right back on defense. Again, coming back off of it. And here, you got that catch coverage again. They'd like to use the pattern match technique to their ability. Third down, the pressure and complementary defense plays a big factor. And Diego Addison, mama, there go that man. The smarts on the defense ends up in the end zone. Pick 6 for the Bulldogs.
Can I have some, Grandma?
Can I have your youth?
Sure.
Commit to this.
That's swag. We're seeing the moves on the sideline. Big fella 53. This guy, if we roll back the tape just a little bit, you would see some of the most inspirational moves you've ever seen on the sideline.
My man was feeling good.
And how can you not, with the way this team is playing? They now have that MEAC title in the crosshairs, closing in now on a spot in the Celebration Bowl in Atlanta to play for the Black College Football National Championship. These Bulldogs are back with some bite under Chennis Berry. And you know, that interception that we just saw, that's another guy that followed him from D2 Benedict to get this score.
Absolutely on that interception that Diego Addison had. Again, match coverage as the receiver breaks on the play that they've had a ton of success with picking up first downs. Diego Addison says, hold on, I've seen this happen a couple of times. Let me make the most of my opportunity. And he cashed in a major way. Pick 6, 100 yards, taking it the entire length of the field. Put up 6 points for his Bulldog defense.
And I got a soft spot in my heart, too. When you get the pick and you palm the ball like that, I'm telling you, that is college football at its finest. You got to play this game with some swag. And this team in South Carolina State, they got it. They got it, Fozzie.
They got the swag, and they're playing to the same level of the swag that they're displaying each and every time they step on the field, and their presence is felt as they command a 40-point lead in a game we thought could have been a defensive showdown.
Oh, yeah. Dorian Harris now checks in at running back. Tyreek Wood, the motion man, and here is Harris. And you're going to see how hard will this Bulldogs defense continue to play with this game now, a 40-point lead going into the fourth quarter. Something tells me they're going to remain locked in. Throw the 4s up.
This is the end of the third quarter.
Juiced up, turned up. That's the South Carolina State way. You got Tony with the touchdown. Some celebrations. And then the big fella, Hannibal. Give me that. How about a pick 6, too, to cap off this third quarter? 53 is not on the roster, online, or on the travel roster, but this is what he was doing moments ago. Get down with your bad self, number 53, whoever you are.
Mr. Get Down, get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. That's the type of juice Coach Berry has on this team, and it flows and trickles down from the top to the bottom.
If anybody can please identify that man so we can give him his due credit, please let us know. Morgan State here on the ground, and there's an electric run by Dorian Harris, taking it just shy of the 40-yard line. That is a spark, and they needed to have it. Dorian Harris, sophomore out of Virginia, 22 yards, just short of his longest carry of the year.
Yeah, he's a smooth runner as well, forcing the open field, missed tackle by the cornerback. And then he gets an open space, and that guy can roll, and you can see he has a different speed than everybody else on the field.
Both teams playing with backup quarterbacks. Dominic Anthony in for Deuce Taylor. In for Morgan State. Crawley again in motion. Harris with the carry, and Harris takes it, breaking that 40-yard line barrier. It's been tough to get into this part of the field for Morgan State. Man, this South Carolina State defense, some nasty dudes over there. They've got 4 sacks in a game for the 7th straight game. First MEAC team to do that in the last 25 years. That is dominant defense. Back to Harris. Shoves one of his dudes out of the way. and is able to take that down to the 36-yard line.
Yeah, dominant defensive performance is what South Carolina State can hang their hat on. And complimentary football, the offense also holding their own as well. But 7 straight games with 4 or more sacks is something that is incredibly insane. And you can't even fathom. Like, I can't even comprehend how an elite level you have to play it in order to make that happen and turn that into a reality. So incredible. Coach O on the sideline, O'Doffer, doing a great job.
Honors center Dorian Harrison. Man, defense crashing in hard was Jordan Dollard for South Carolina State. And it's going to set up a 4th down. This is obvious. You got to go for territory. Here for David Wilson. And happy to report that is Connor Lucas.
Yes.
Deep snapper wearing a different jersey number than we have. And this guy is locked in. I mean, he's a man of the people. Bringing the dance moves, bringing the nonstop energy on the sideline. America loves you, Connor Lucas. Yeah, I think he's looking for more dance moves. Did you see that?
He's about to go in.
Timeout. Morgan State, their second of the half. Media timeout.
Look at the sheer joy on his face. If he only knew that we're making him a star tonight, right now, I think he would take it to that next level.
Absolutely.
But as it is, Connor Lucas, this is your world. We're just living in it and loving it. The star of the night. We don't even know what he does on the football field, but off the field on the sideline, nails. Michigan State with quarterback Dominic Anthony. 12-14 left to go. It's a 40-point lead for the Bulldogs of South Carolina State. With every tick of that clock, they move a step closer to the MEAC title. Harris with the carry. He tripped in the backfield. There was also the contact there by Hunter Puckett. That was doomed from the jump. Harris had no shot losing his footing.
I don't know about the play call there. 4th, and you got to go get it. And
tripped over his lineman.
Haven't been able to run the ball as effectively as they wanted to. Puckett obviously making sure that his Bulldogs get the ball back, but I don't like that play call there.
What's your problem with it?
Oh, you give one option, and that's run it right where the play is designed to run. I like giving the ball to Anthony, give him an opportunity to at least create with his legs and extend the play if he needs to.
And Stubblefield tripped up.
It's his 2nd time having issues catching the snap.
Yeah. And previous one went right under his hands.
Yeah.
He was able to pounce off it. COC Jonathan Williams, quarterback back in the day under Doug Williams at Grambling. SWAC Offensive Player of the Year, led the FCS in touchdowns. On the ground for the Bulldogs, wide open. Demetri Simmons, still going. One man to beat. Morgan State rallies, but not until Simmons takes it down to the 15-yard line. 46-yard pickup, the longest of the year for Demetri Simmons.
Yeah, you got a pin pull. Pick number 76, Eric Brown, gets that play started, and then Simmons just does the rest. Make a couple people miss, get an open field, pick up big chunk 1st down yardage.
There's a Heisman stiff arm in there. Stubblefield, dropped by Dylan Boone. And Stubblefield did such a great job to suck the attention of the defense to set up that play with Boone. Just dropped it.
Yeah, and that's a play Boone wishes he could have back. He probably walks into the end zone if he catches that ball, and ultimately you got to catch the ball first if you want to be able to get into the end zone. You may not get a chance to do it again, and so he's probably beating himself up. So excellent play call and execution by Ryan Stubblefield, being able to get him open.
Simmons breaks through one tackle. He picks up a couple of yards. Set up a 3rd down and long. Ahmad McCullough makes a stop. McCullough has had a quiet game. Transfer from Washington State. He was a standout for the Maryland Terrapins before transferring to Pullman, and now here for his final season in Baltimore. 3rd and 7. Simmons capping off the long run with the touchdown. He stayed up, but they're going to rule him down. I don't know, Fonzie, that's close to him keeping that contact balance and touching the pylon. What do you think?
I think he stepped out at the 2-yard line, and you see the stiff arm trying to be able to get some extra spacing. Zooming in tight and close, and...
Oh, barely.
Oh, wow. Right at the 3-yard line, that toe. It's right there. That's very close. They're going to look at this play a little bit closer.
Rolling on the field was that the runner was out of bounds at the 4-yard line. That play is under further review.
They're going to review it. And
he's showing his use of the stiff arm. That's now 2 straight runs. We're looking at the right foot here.
Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
And it's tough to say.
It's hard to tell where he go. And does he step out of bounds?
Right
there it is.
Clearly.
The toe is clearly out of bounds.
So
there.
Is it slightly inside the 2-yard line, or is it slightly inside the 3-yard line? But it's no closer to the end zone than that last one.
Exactly.
So right here.
And I don't think there's clear, definitive a picture to be able to say that he stepped out at the 3-yard line. And his foot almost looks like it drags there. From the other angle, his foot still appeared to be in the air at that time. But he clearly steps out inside the 2-yard line on the next step once he establishes his balance again.
At the review, the runner stepped out of bounds at the 3-yard line. It'll be a 1st and goal from the 3.
So it's the first time that the foot is close to the sideline is when it comes out. Is this one of those situations? Dimitri Simmons has gotten to this point. You feed him, let him pay it off. Does that actually happen? Does that go into play calling?
It should, as a running back. if the work has been laid, the foundation has been down there, the offensive line has already paved the way, then why not reward all of those hard-working individuals with the touchdown, playing the aggressive style that they played on those last couple of plays.
And give Connor Lucas a shot on the extra point.
There we go.
Give America what they want. And this is going to be the speed sweep, and DeAndre Ruffin is in. 2nd touchdown for him this season. And South Carolina State has scored their most points on the road since 2014, and there's still time to add to it.
Yeah, and the jet sweep turns into an opportunity for another touchdown. They just use their physicality and then getting off to the edge to be able to pick up another touchdown, and that's the one I was talking about where Simmons probably wishes he was the guy on the jet sweep to finish it off into the end zone.
No Connor Lucas here, though.
It's long snapper for punt.
Okay, so different here on the extra points. He don't care. He's ready to bring his guy Maggio in. Jake Maggio is one of the long snappers for field goals and extra points. Connor Lucas is the other, and that is tightness in the special teams unit. Unreal scene here, and Chinnis Berry loves all of it. Your one-shotty moment. Oh, man. You know, I don't even know what to say anymore, Fonzie Whitaker.
Best McDouble if I've ever seen one.
Logan Lindo here with Fonzie Whitaker inside Hughes Stadium, home of Morgan State football. And South Carolina State is taking it to them. Started off the scoring with a 31-yard touchdown from Eric Phoenix to Justin Smith-Brown. It seems like an eternity ago. and have kept pouring it on since. And that really describes the night for Morgan State. Can't keep footing and just fall over there.
And a penalty on the play as well. I think it's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty on South Carolina State.
After the play was over, unsportsmanlike conduct, South Carolina State, number 83, his first unsportsmanlike conduct towards disqualification. 15-yard penalty, first down.
That's against Shamonte Burgess for South Carolina State. It's a better field position for Morgan State, but it really hasn't mattered. Had the ball a couple times inside the 10. Were able to cash in once. Last time they had it inside the 10-yard line, it was a 99, actually a 100-yard pick six for the South Carolina State defense. 9:16 left. And then South Carolina State can celebrate a MEAC title. Oh, they are still hitting, fired up, dropping to the turf just like this game just got going. Aiden Weber there with a tackle for loss. Goodness.
Yeah, Aiden Weber saw that from the get-go.
Been a few of those tonight for this South Carolina State defensive front. They have lived up to their top billing as the most feared pass rush in the MEAC. And athleticism on display here, as now everybody's getting their turn as the most feared pass rush in the MEAC. And athleticism on display here, as now everybody's getting their turn. Come and make the hit. This time it's Tyler Jones, just 5 tackles all year. That's number 6 for him. Freshman out of South Carolina.
Yeah, and with the score being as lopsided as it is, it's an opportunity for both teams to get some exposure for guys that don't typically play a lot.
Yeah.
And use it as an evaluation tool on creating depth or finding opportunities to see if they can earn themselves more playing time for the rest of the season.
This is going to be picked. Interception number 3 for the South Carolina State defense. The only one that has not resulted in a house call. Bryce McIntosh with the interception. Mayhem ensues on the Bulldogs sideline.
MEAC Football, where speed meets power. For every game.
By McDonald's. We've had flavor all day. Jay Walker in the house.
Yeah.
He brought us up some wings. Honey
Old Bay
wings. Incredible. And then, of course, if you're going to do it right here on the campus of Morgan State, you got to have one of the best marching bands in the business getting after it. The magnificent marching machine. They brought the juice at halftime. Let's put it that way. Jaquan Hart now checks in at quarterback, third quarterback for the Bulldogs here tonight. And a TFL. Let's go back to that Bryce McIntosh interception.
As you see, it's a far throw from the quarterback to be able to throw an out-breaking route to the receiver on the far side of the field. Bryce McIntosh, right place, right time. He reads it, sitting on that route, gets the interception, and the team celebrates in vibrant fashion in the way we'd expect them to, with the same type of energy and emotion Coach Berry brings to the game each and every day.
Bulldogs are going to make this a 7-game winning streak in that stretch. As of right now, 20 takeaways for this Bulldogs defense. 2 of them tonight return for touchdowns. Good burst. Flag down as Dimitri Simmons continues to churn out the yardage. Rodney Patterson with the tackle.
Holding. Offense number 62. 10-yard penalty.
Now, for as good as Ryan Stubblefield was coming in for an injured Eric Phoenix, the condition of Phoenix is going to be a really big deal. Now, the regular season finale against Norfolk State, it's not going to matter in terms of getting to that Celebration Bowl. South Carolina State secures it with a win here tonight. But in terms of winning in that Celebration Bowl, and for a guy like Phoenix to go out right, you want to see him healthy, want to see him back.
Absolutely. Let me say, after what we've seen on display, though, the offense is still in good hands with Ryan Stubblefield.
Stubblefield was impressive. Just his command and control of the game. Demetrius Simmons with a carry. Xavier Shell was in on the stop. Shell had a couple stops early in the game. Has been quiet after that. And there is Stubblefield. They're obviously doing something right with Chinnisberry, who's got a play calling background, and Jonathan Williams, who has a background at the quarterback spot, because Eric Phoenix always looks composed and in control.
Yeah.
And Stubblefield looked the same way.
Yeah. It seemed as though the game came easy to them, and it didn't matter what was thrown their way. They can still find a play or make a play happen with their scrambling ability.
3rd and 20 to a crossing receiver, and it is Jordan Smith on 3rd and 20, getting it all the way down, 1 yard shy of the first down. His 3rd catch of the year, 19 yards.
And we'll see here, 4th and 1, what Coach Berry wants to do. A couple different options. You can go with this play call and
at this point,
just call a timeout.
Yeah, and Chinnisberry's not trying to bury this Morgan State team further. Anything that happens, it's going to be in the course of the game. He's not just trying to smash it in their face right now.
Trying to run the clock out, utilize as much clock as possible.
Delay game, offense, number 14. 5-yard penalty, 4th down.
It's impossible to be around Chinnisberry and not come away impressed with him as a coach and him as a man. I mean, he is, like he said, juiced up, turned out throughout the course of the week, then takes it easy on game day because he knows what he wants and he demands that excellence from his players. He's hard on his guys.
Well, you just saw the level of composure that he had there and just the humility as a coach. Like to take a penalty
and punt
to be able to force a punt.
Timeout, South Carolina State. The first of the half will be 30 seconds.
And he's got some dudes now. Phoenix and Stubblefield at the quarterback spot. Stubblefield, 7 of 11, 85 yards, 3 total touchdowns. 1 was on the ground and showed a dynamic touch through the air. Phoenix was in complete control before that. And how about Washington coming up with the pick 6, 32 yards all the way for that score. And then, not to be denied, you also had a 100-yard return as well.
And then John Hannibal, the big fella, is finally putting his belly away. No more feasting. He's already had enough to eat.
Low snap, and it gets away from Dyson Roberts. He recovers in time. And you don't see that too often. It's caught by his own man. Jordan Smith was able to down that ball in the air.
And back to the talk I wanted to have with Coach Berry and just the type of coach that he is. We mentioned what would he do on 4th and 1, accepts the penalty, punts it away, and the sportsmanship that he exudes, right? You're already up big. You already know the game is well out of hand, but being able to use that gesture is something that shows you the type of person that he is and the type of coach that he is.
And he looks for good people to surround himself with his program. Not just guys that know ball, but know how to develop men, because that's ultimately what he says that they are trying to do. And with his coordinators, that was a big part of the hiring process, as Harris goes forward for about a yard. When he hired Jonathan Williams and Jordan O'Daffer to follow him from Benedict, it was because of the trust that was put in place. He said that you want to know what guys are like to coach with and be around them nonstop, and trust is such a big part of that. He's found it in O'Daffer and Williams.
Also giving them opportunities in the same way he was given opportunities. He mentioned that it was his job to do the same thing that was given to him, to be able to provide that blessing to others.
Harris for a yard. You know, his first coach out of college, when his playing career was done, hired him and fired him after 1 year because he felt he wasn't ready. He wasn't old enough. And Coach Berry was kind of like, well, you knew that when you hired me right out of college. But he said ultimately it was the best thing to happen to his career because it exposed him to other coaches around the game. I mean, he's been the offensive coordinator at Southern, at Howard, at North Carolina AT&T, and here at Morgan State is when he got his first crack at calling plays. And now he's back here in Baltimore and leading his program, South Carolina State, to a MEAC title in year number 1. He's going to become the first head coach in Bulldogs program history to win a MEAC title in year number 1. That's a big deal.
Yeah, anytime you can win a conference within your first year taking over the reins, and the amount of history that they have, and he's golden, man. This guy is definitely a golden man. But whenever you can do that in the history that South Carolina State has, the Bulldogs, and the foundation that they were built off the previous coach, and for him to kind of uphold that legacy is what you want to see if you're a South Carolina State Bulldog fan.
Yeah, Coach Pugh, a coaching legend. You know, we're seeing the Florida Gators watching on our screen right now with a huge win. Coach Pugh actually gave Billy Napier his first shot as a play caller back in the day. That goes back to opportunities, though, that coaches like Chinnis Berry want to be able to provide. That brings us to the 2-minute timeout. That means one thing. It's 2 minutes away from celebrating a MEAC title for the South Carolina State Bulldogs.
It's
Berry. He was coaching just down the street. Benedict College is in Columbia, South Carolina, as the guy that he wanted to follow him. And money time right there, because it's time to cash in on 3rd down. But we always hear it, right? You don't want to be the guy that follows the legend. You want to be the guy that follows the legend. Well, this is different because it's Willie Jeffries to Buddy Pugh and now Chinnis Berry. You're following 2 coaching legends.
And I think he's picking up right where they left off. And securing that MEAC title was the #1 priority on his list coming into this season.
Goodness gracious, this defense is still playing hard to the end. Omari Davis. And 1 minute away from the MEAC title spot, the Celebration Bowl. To take on the winner of the SWAC. There's O'Daffer. His defense has been awesome. 2 pick sixes. Diego Addison took it 100. Gerard Washington took it 29 yards. And even playing with their backup quarterback that has hardly played this year, they did not miss a beat. They have been locked in. There's some motion there. The right side of the formation.
False start.
And I think this is going to be the case.
False start, offense, number 38. That foul carries a 10-second runoff of the game clock. Please reset the game clock to 23 seconds, and we'll start on my signal.
I gotta hope that this opportunity means the world for Chinnis Berry, which I believe it does. Being at the HBCU level, changing lives. This is the part of the game that he grew up with. I say that because we've been around him. You see the product on field. He's going to get looks. He is going to get looks by a lot of different places for a lot of different roles. He is that impressive and that dynamic. But at the same time, a lot of credit to Damon Wilson, head coach, of what he's done with Morgan State. This is a program that has been down, but 5 wins, the most for the program since 2014. He's got this team on the right trajectory. It just was not their night. Now, Morgan State will let the clock hit 0, and the celebration will ensue. Chennis Berry, you're right. Thank the man upstairs, but put up the number 1 because you are number 1 in the MEAC. The Bulldogs are going to the Celebration Bowl.
This was a great showing when everything was on the line. An opportunity to secure a championship, opportunity to make it into the Celebration Bowl. How does your team show up? No matter what adversity came their way, losing Eric Phoenix, all right? He didn't get to play the rest of the game after the first quarter. You had Caden High go down. Josh Barker went down. Guys all taking turns having to experience injuries. But what they did was rebound, stick stronger together, and then put together a dominating performance against a MEAC opponent and secure their championship by putting 54 points up on the board on the road.
Well, I don't think South Carolina State football ever went anywhere, but if there was a sliver of doubt, I'm here to tell you this. South Carolina State Bulldogs are back. MEAC champs for the first time since 2021 and still got one regular season game left, and then it's on to Atlanta for the Celebration Bowl. South Carolina State and Chennis Berry atop the MEAC.